What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and yesterday I made a video talking about the decks that I felt got buffed either directly or indirectly by the July 2021 ban list. Today we are back, the birds outside are chirping very loudly, and we're talking about the decks that I feel got destroyed by this ban list update. Now, I'm not saying that these decks are completely unplayable. I think if they do go forward, they will look a lot different. They will play a lot different than we've seen in the past. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you are buying any new cards because of the ban list, make sure to use my link to tcgplayer.com. It'll be in the description below. Anyway, without further ado, this time I actually do have them in order of least affected to most affected, and I think the best place to start is TriBrigade Zodiac. Admittedly, I think that the actual TriBrigade archetype is going to be very good in the upcoming format, but I don't necessarily think they're going to play the Zodiac engine, or if they do, it won't be as popular as it was in the previous format. Now, in some ways, the Zoo engine is not completely useless. The Zodiac cards are still a great way to summon AA Zeus, which is a very powerful Xyz monster, so TriBrigade players might still play Zodiacs for that reason. But without Trident, the Zodiac cards are a lot less threatening when you go first, and that definitely is a pretty big issue. Personally, I feel like people are going to move past the Zodiac engine in TriBrigades without Trident, but I suppose they could still be around simply because Zeus is such a powerful card. And that's why I put TriBrigade Zodiac so low in today's video. The deck is obviously a lot worse. It's going to have to play very different. For what it's worth, I think that TriBrigade Zoo will still be around. I think that Zeus is that powerful, but the deck will be worse off than it was in the previous format, and I think a number of TriBrigade players will try out other engines, potentially things like the Lyrilisk engine, which did see play in the past and is getting more support in the future. Pretty much every single dragon deck is going to be worse off in the upcoming format. Now, a lot of them do have other ways to combo off, but Guard Dragon LP was a big deal in pretty much every single combo deck that played any amount of dragon type monsters, and now that card is banned and a lot of people are going to be missing it. We're going to talk about a more specific deck in a few minutes here, but I would like to say that pretty much any deck playing dragon monsters is not going to be as good in the upcoming weeks as it has been in the past few formats. Guard Dragon LP is a big dragon card. It's one of the best dragon cards ever printed. It gave you access to whatever dragon monster you needed, and now we don't have that anymore, so any dragon deck is going to be a little worse off. Dinosaur players lost 2 copies of Miscellaneousaurus, one of their best cards. Not only was Miscellaneousaurus a great way to protect your monsters, but also it was a combo enabler because it could special summon that Archosaur right from your deck with no other setup. Of course, you can still add Miscellaneousaurus to your hand with your 3 copies of Oviraptor or 3 copies of Fossil Dig, but you won't hard draw it as often now that it's only at 1 copy per deck. And that does make a pretty big difference. How many times has an opponent summoned Sullied and Oviraptor and then you tried to respond with a hand trap only for them to have the Miscellaneousaurus in their hand already? That sort of interaction won't happen as often with there only being 1 Miscellaneousaurus. Now, I do want to point out that in the past, when Miscellaneousaurus was limited, Dinosaurs still topped events, and that was before they had cards like Archosaur, it's before Scrap Raptor, so the deck probably will still see some amount of play in the upcoming format. Scrap Raptor is a big reason to play Dinosaurs right now. It's a very good combo card, and they still have other great support cards that they've gotten throughout the years. So Dinosaurs aren't going to be completely unplayable, but they are going to be taken down in power level quite a bit now that they have 2 less copies of Miscellaneousaurus. Losing those copies of Miscellaneousaurus also hurts their longevity. They don't have as many ways to grind out these slower controlling decks. Luckily, Dinosaurs are very good at OTKing their opponents, which means you might not really have that many grindy matchups. But if you can't OTK your opponent, resource management will become a lot more of a hassle. Next up, let's talk about Dragon Link. This is a deck that Konami clearly wanted to hit quite a lot on this ban list. list. Not only did they lose their Guard Dragon LP like all of the other dragon decks, but also Striker Dragon went to limited. Now Striker Dragon is still a very good card even at 1 copy per deck, but it was a 3 of in pretty much every single Dragon Link deck that I've seen recently, so people obviously wanted the extra copies. Dragon Link has been around for a long time. It's already seen a lot of its cards hit on previous ban lists, but the Guard Dragon LP loss might be too much for the deck to overcome. That being said, there are still plenty of great dragon cards you can play. The new Dragoonity support, for example, might look a lot more appealing to players trying to use a Dragon Link deck, and we could see other dragon engines tried out. Even if Dragon Link sees play in the future after these changes, the deck is going to look and play a lot different than it has in the past. You don't have Guard Dragon LP to special summon any dragon monster from your deck. You don't have extra copies of Striker Dragon, so people are going to have to experiment quite a bit to come up with a new best version. And finally, Pure Zodiac is looking terrible for the upcoming format. This deck only technically took 1 hit on this ban list, the Trident getting banned, but that 1 hit is so impactful that I really can't see a world where Pure Zodiac is still getting played in the new format. Like I mentioned earlier, Zodiac cards in general might still see play in TriBrigade decks if people really want to make Zeus, but the difference here is that in a pure Zodiac deck, the Zodiac cards were your only monsters and Trident was basically the main thing you were trying to do on every single turn 1. Now that Trident is banned though, the pure Zodiac deck basically has no good turn 1 play that they can do consistently, and Zeus only works when you're going second and you can actually attack. The pure Zodiac deck had been a great choice for many players over the past few months. It could play a ton of hand traps and a ton of regular traps, and it had a very good matchup against a lot of the combo decks. However, without Trident, I just don't see this deck working. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the upcoming format. Is it good? Is it bad? Are you excited to play any new decks? I know a few days ago on my community tab, I asked you guys how you felt about the ban list. 23% of you said it was great, 64% said it was mostly okay, and only 13% said it was bad. So it seems like overall people are fairly positive about these new changes, but let me know in the comment section below what you personally think about the ban list. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Goodbye.